Hi, I'm Ryan Guest. I'm the category director for ski equipment at Black Diamond. I'm here today with Backcountry Ski in Canada, showing off the Jetforce electronic airbag system. So the Jetforce is, first and foremost, it's a ski pack. We built the pack around skiing. We know that's what you're going to use it for 90% of the time. So when you look at the features of the back, you've got your avalanche tools pocket with your different separations for your probe, your handle, your snow saw, as well as your blade. Right on the front, easy access, opposing colorways. We've got goggle and accessory pocket in the top, and then we have our diagonal ski carry built in, hidden into the upper pocket. Down below, we have a helmet carry, and then your lower diagonal carry loop. And so this is all hidden away, trying to keep the pack clean and neat so you're not getting caught on branches, bushes, things like that as you're skiing. The system itself, like I said, is a battery-powered system. And so, as I open the insides of the bag, the backpack is back panel entry. And this is the 28-liter bag. And so when you look at the bag, right off the bat, it doesn't seem like it has a ton of space, but all of this is patterned very loosely, so you can move this out of the way. It's actually 28 liters of usable space. It's not 28 liters minus the system. Inside the bag, down in this bottom pocket, is where your battery and CPU are located. We have an 8-cell lithium-ion battery. This battery does great in the cold, and it's basically the same battery that's being used in a lot of the satellites and a lot of your new laptop computers. The lower portion of this is the actual computer of this system. It's a very smart system overall. To walk through functionality with the Jetforce, your main interactions are happening with the user interface. And so what this user interface does is it gives you a battery power. So if I touch the bottom button, it gives you a battery power. You can check it, you can see while you're at home, before you're heading out for the day, how much battery you have left. On the bottom, you have your main power button, and then to deploy is a standard pull. When you deploy our bag, you pull the handle, and it does two different things. It does a mechanical release first, and an electronic release as the second phase. The mechanical release opens this flap initially by way of a swage system down the side. The electronic switch actually turns on the fan and starts inflating the bag. So mechanical gets this flap out of the way, electronic allows you to inflate. Once the bag's inflating, it has a standard zipper that it just rips the zipper as it's opening up, and allows us to fully inflate within 3 seconds a 200-liter airbag, which is the biggest bag on the market. So in this scenario, when you're talking about inverse segregation, really we see it as bigger is better, and so we're giving you a bigger bag for behind the head protection, behind the back protection, as well as keeping you afloat and turning you in the correct position while you're being carried in that slide. To arm the system, let me repack this flap quick. Actually, here, I'll walk through the actual deployment. So once the bag deploys, it's going to rip this zipper out. The 200-liter airbag is going to come out. The system is drawing air through the main pocket here. This is a vent that was developed with the snow machine market. It's basically the same air intake systems that they're using to protect their air filters. The secondary intake is this entire back panel. The whole back panel is a reticulated foam that can draw air in, and that's then ducted down to the fan. And then the third intake is all of the mesh in this system. We've designed this so that it's kind of redundancy after redundancy. So when, in any case, if any of your air intakes are blocked, there's always room to pull in more air. We can block off about 90% of this system and still fill the bag under 5 seconds. Once the bag inflates, Like I said, you have a 200-liter airbag. The bag can still deploy with diagonal skis being carried on the system. Bag comes out, fills up with air. Once you're done, I'll talk about the cycle in a minute, but after it goes through its cycle, our bag goes into a deflate mode. It pulls about 80% of the air out of the bag to give that buried victim, in the case of a train trap, give that buried victim an air pocket, or on the surface, just allow you to repack the bag easier. When you're going to repack, it's a simple stuff sack, just like your sleeping bag. And so there's a zipper hidden down on this side. I'm trying to hold it and do its part. You pass that zipper across the front, bring it over, restart it just like your jacket. Sorry. And then you start stuffing the bag. There's no rolling, no packing, or no folding needed. Stuff the bag, keep bringing the zipper across, keep putting it in. As you get to the end, you're typically going to have a little extra air in it. You can either squeeze that out by hand, or there's a switch on the fan that's located right on this side. There's a switch that allows you to pull it up, push the rest of the air out, pack it away. You finish the zipper. Biggest thing, bring the zipper past this connection. As long as it's below this connector, it's good to go. There's another little thing here that resets the swages. And then you clip the bag back, or the panel back on, and you're good to go. You don't have to shut off the system. In the case that it's just a slough, you can pull the handle, you can repack the system, be skiing again really quickly. The system goes off in a 3-minute cycle. The first step of that cycle is the initial inflation. This is a 9-second inflation. It takes us about 3.5 seconds to fill the 200-liter bag, which is right on par with everybody else on the market, time-wise, but we're filling a larger bag. The second phase is puncture recovery, and so as this bag's filling, or once it's filled, the fan keeps running, and for the first minute and a half, it runs through a cycle that is basically pulsing between 50% and 100%. To prevent, to keep air in the bag for say you're skiing through the trees and you get any snags or you get any tears in the bag. We can keep about 150 liters of air in the system with a 5-inch tear in our bag. The third stage of that is just volume maintenance. It's just keeping the bag inflated, so you're going to hear the fan pulse every about 30 to 40 seconds, and it's only going to pulse quickly and then shut off. The fourth stage is actually deflating. And so at the 3-minute mark, the fan will run in reverse, and it will pull all of the air out of the system. And in the case of a burial, it is going to allow you to have an air pocket once it deflates. So I'll start up the system and show it off. So to boot up the system, you're going to use this power button on the bottom. You're going to hold it for about 3 seconds. You're going to hear the fan run. So we run through a full diagnostic check as you turn on the system. It's checking the battery, it's checking the CPU. It runs the fan 100% in reverse to be sure everything's turning and it's not frozen up. Once you've turned the system on, it's going to give you a green light, tell you it's ready to go. So green is good. It'll give you a red light in this spot right above in case your battery's too low and you need to go recharge the system. When you pull the bag, or when you see a green light, the system's armed. So as I pull this, it will deploy. To turn the system off, you do the same. You just hold the button for 5 seconds. You're going to see a red blinking light. When that goes solid, you can let go. You're going to hear 3 beeps, and the system's now disarmed. So it's super quick to turn it on, turn it off in the case that you're heli skiing or cat skiing and you need to put the bag into a basket and be able to protect the folks in the helicopter. So I'm going to turn the system back on. You hear that fan cycle through. And then I'm going to deploy the bag as soon as I have a green light. Here we go. So now it's going to be in this puncture recovery state. It's going to keep pulsing and keep adding air to the bag.